Hey guys, for you that don't know, my name's Katie and welcome to my channel. I don't know if I've touched on this basis, but I did a year of my nursing prerequisites, and this summer I took my CNA class, take my test this week to hopefully become CNA certified through the state, and I applied for the nursing program in January. I kind of wanted to touch on a basis of being a CNA before the nursing program. Like, I know that there's a lot of talk about that and whether, that's a good idea or if that's for you. Like, for me, my program is on a point system. So, going by like your GPA, I have a 4.0, and so with a 4.0 you have 40 points, and then the more you go down, go up, well, you can't go up from 40 points, but the more you go down, the less points you get. And then, like if you're CNA certified, for example, then you have 7 extra points. If you have done all of your prereqs by the time you apply, then you get so many points. So they kind of go off of that, and then they do an interview process if you make it to that, and then that's worth 30 points. Then you add up all those. They only take 24 students a year, and then hopefully you're one of those 24 students. But that was one reason I took my CNA class, but I also just felt like I put so much time and effort into my prerequisites for nursing that I just wanted to know, like, hey, is this for me? Like, am I gonna be able to go in and get down and dirty? Because even if you're a nurse and you're not just a CNA, I mean, we do so much, but you're gonna be in people's private areas. You're gonna be knocking on people's rooms and waking them up. For me, like, once I did the CNA class and I had to go into long-term care facility where they have residents, it was hard to break that barrier of knocking on people's doors and introducing yourself and changing a bedpan and changing briefs. And like, I had one incident. My first day there, we were given to CNAs, and there was so many of us paired off with this CNA and so we had certain halls that we took care of, and I had to gown up and stuff, and I had to go into a room that had C. diff, and I don't know if anybody else has experienced this, but the smell of C. diff is like, there's no other smell. I mean, and I didn't know that when we went in there, and so we gowned up, and we go in there, and our CNA is like, all right, flipping them around, and they're so awesome, and they're fast, and they're like proficient with what they're doing. And she's changing him, and like, they have all the buckets, they throw everything away because they don't take anything out of the room. And you're just like, I mean, it's terrible. I don't know how else to explain it. It's terrible. And the resident was awesome. And I mean, I really grew a relationship with that person over the 3 weeks I was there, because the next day, I think, they were actually off of,
oh my god, off of being so in the room. I can't even think of the word, I feel so dumb. But anyways.
So the next day, like, we showered that resident, and were able to, like, they went in and cleaned the room and stuff like that. So, but to experience that was just, I mean, crazy. And everything else, like working with the nurses and figuring out who your chain of command is, and practicing within your scope of practice. And because people will ask you to do things that you legitimately shouldn't be doing. And also breaking that barrier of, like, when you have a lot of women that you work with, I mean, because they were all women, night shift, I think there were some men, and there were a couple male nurses, but CNA-wise, they were all women, and when you go in, it's like territorial, and so just kind of experiencing all that, and bedpans, and giving somebody a shower. I mean, it sounds easy, but when you have to, you have to think of that person. Like, I know my mom was really sick, and you have to think of that person as, like, you're invading their privacy. And how would you want them to, like, how would you want to be if you were that person and someone came in and had to change you or get you completely naked to take a shower and scrub under you and in parts, and you weren't able to go to the bathroom yourself? How would you want someone to approach you? Would you want them to be like, oh my God, you know, or rude? I mean, how would you want them to be? Because a lot of these people, I mean, they were strong, all of them, I'm sure at one time were strong, independent people, and now they rely on the help of you. And so, I don't know. For me, like, I took away a lot from that experience, and I feel like it's going to make me a better nurse in the long run with, one, appreciating, you know, my fellow CNAs, and two, breaking that barrier of, like I said, of knocking on doors, introducing yourself, being in people's private areas of all sense, and also trying to relate. Like, we had somebody with a traumatic brain injury who was young, and the youngest person in that care home, and learning, like, almost like OCD tendencies. And for me, like, I took to that person. That resident was so needy that a lot of people didn't want to deal with them. And so I would go in there and they would say something they wanted, and they had to have it in exactly certain way. And I took to that, like, letting them know, like, yes, I did put it this way, so you know it's here. And just kind of like adapting to everybody's personality, and not everyone is going to be pleasant when they were the day before, and they may hit, and just kind of learning those things. I just really feel like it gives you such a strong base to come from, to come up. Like, our CNA instructor is the clinical instructor as well for the nursing program, and he told me that every nursing student that he had that was a, you know, CNA prior to, were just so, like, their first day of clinicals in the nursing program, they were like out there knocking on doors. Like, he didn't have to ask them, he didn't have to, you know, push them. They were just like doing their own thing. And he also said he kind of had to scale them back because they were kind of doing, you know, not the nursing things they should have been doing. They were doing the bed baths and the changing and stuff like that. But I just feel like it just gives you such an appreciation for these people that you're going to be working with, and some basic skills. I mean, we did blood pressure and respiration, finding that on the body instead of just talking about it. For me, it was really important, and I think a lot of people would benefit from it. I'm not saying that everybody, you know, should do it, because there are a lot of great nurses, I imagine, and a lot of great nursing students that weren't a CNA. So before the program. So I'm not saying that, but I just really found it a pretty critical thing in my time there. And also realizing, like, hey, I'm not disgusted by any of this. Like, none of it grosses me out. So I know that I'm good. Like, as long as I get into the program this January and I continue to work really hard, like, hey, I don't mind wiping a butt, and I don't mind giving a big old, you know, bed bath or a shower to a naked person I don't know. Like, it is what it is. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, or comment below if you have any questions or any other videos you want me to do, and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this. I'm thinking, I take my CNA state exam on the 21st, so I was thinking of making a video after I do that of my experience of that. Also, I start another term right before the nursing program, if you guys want to see, like, a school supply haul or something like that. And then, hey, the interview process for the nursing program, and hopefully I get in, and if so, then maybe nursing program videos. But anyways, you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.